Hi, it's Dwyer. It's Wednesday, September the 25th, 2019. GamblersAdvisory.com, a free site. BettingAngle.us, a free site. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Now, it is September. It's between week 3 and week 4. This is the time, quite frankly, where you get the best value betting NFL futures, right? What you want to do is lock in long odds on excellent teams with a great chance to make the playoffs and go deep in the playoffs. So when January rolls around, you'll be able to hedge the play and be on both sides of the bet. Right, so we're looking for great teams that are mispriced, where you're getting long odds on them right now. 10 to 1, 15 to 1, and higher. Well, let me tell you, there's a team out there that I believe needs to be part of your betting portfolio right here. Folks, they're going off at 22 to 1. You heard me right, 22 to 1. They're 3-0 right now. They've already beaten the Pittsburgh Steelers. Statistically, they're dominant defensively. What do I mean by that? You know, in a typical game, one team usually gets around, let's say, 20 to 23 first downs. Right? In the San Francisco 49ers' last 2 games, they gave up 14 first downs to the Bengals. They gave up 11 first downs. You heard me right. 11 first downs to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let me just say, too, turnovers are bad things. You know you have something special when a team turns over the ball 5 times, like the 49ers did against the Steelers, and they end up winning the game. Understand, in terms of total yards, the last 2 weeks, the Niners have put up 571 total yards in week 2 and 436 total yards against the Steelers. So you're talking about a solid team on both sides of the football. So they're 3-0. They're not going to lose this week because they're on a bye. Understand, too, their division, while it has the Rams, we'll concede that. It has the Rams. But it doesn't have, let's say, Green Bay's problem, the Chicago Bears, the Minnesota Vikings, a still unbeaten Detroit Lion team. If you go around the league, especially when you realize that the Niners have 2 games to play. They're 3-0 already. 2 games to play against the Arizona Cardinals, a team with a rookie quarterback and a rookie head coach. Right? As you look at the schedule, you're going to start to realize that the Niners at 22 to 1 are an absolute steal at this point. Nobody here has a firm conviction that the 49ers are going to win it all. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. But understand, if I get a team that can get 10, 11 wins on the season, make the playoffs, and I have them sitting there at 22 to 1, especially if they have home field for that first game, then I'm cooking with gas. So let's take a look at their schedule in the upcoming weeks. After a bye, they stay at home. Think about that. They stay at home and they play first-year head coach Freddie Kitchens and the Cleveland Browns. I believe that's a winnable game. The week after that, they play their toughest game. They go on the road to Los Angeles and they take on the Los Angeles Rams. Now, by then, I'm just telling you, the world's going to start to catch on to this Richard Sherman, yes, he's still around, led secondary to this defense. Now, let's give the Rams that game. After all, the Rams represented the NFC in the Super Bowl last year. Well, the game after that is on the road against the Washington Redskins. Right, folks? The Redskins have a terrible defense. The fans are screaming for Haskins to play quarterback. They're not convinced on Case Keenum. I believe that's a winnable game. The week after that, they take on the Carolina Panthers at home. Right? Folks, Cam apparently is out for a prolonged period of time. I know his backup looked great last week. Right? Looked great. But understand, his backup is a first-year starting quarterback. I think the Niners win that game. The week after that, they go to Arizona and play Arizona in Arizona. I don't care where they play the Cardinals, folks. I'm expecting the 49ers to beat the Cardinals. So let's add it up. They're 3-0 already. Cleveland Browns, in my opinion, are win number 4. Right? We'll say that they lose the Ram game. So they're 4-1. The Washington Redskins should be win number 5. The Carolina Panthers should be win number 6. The Arizona Cardinals should be win number 7. Right? I'm just telling you. I don't care how generous your local casino is. Good luck getting 22-1 odds on a team that's 7-1 at the midway point of the season. Understand, too, after they play Arizona, they then go home and play Seattle at home. I think they have a very good chance in every game they play at home. Right? After that Seattle game, let's say they win that game. After that Seattle game, believe it or not, they play the Arizona Cardinals again. So I believe the Niners are grossly mispriced. Grossly mispriced. At 22-1. Right? I think you're looking at a team that could easily, in my opinion, be 8-1. Easily, in a few weeks. Right? Easily be 8-1. Let me also say, too, in terms of coaching, Kyle Shanahan has been around a few years now as the San Francisco 49er head coach. Right? Let me just say, too, Jimmy Garoppolo, a guy who's a bit overlooked because of injury. Right? Some other young guys are getting a lot of attention. You're hearing a lot about Lamar Jackson right now. Right? Pat Mahomes has taken the league by storm. Some other young quarterbacks, Daniel Jones, are in the spotlight. Right? I'm just telling you that other than Pat Mahomes, and I'll concede, Pat Mahomes looks like an excellent young quarterback. But other than Pat Mahomes, in terms of young, talented quarterbacks, if you watch Jimmy Garoppolo when he's on his game, he should be in the conversation. Garoppolo is a top 10 quarterback talent-wise, in my opinion, in the National Football League. Right? I personally would rather have Jimmy Garoppolo out there than Lamar Jackson. Now, in terms of storm clouds, right, I'll concede Garoppolo's been injured. You need to pay close attention to the injuries. If Garoppolo gets injured again and ends up missing multiple games, and I'll agree, the team's going to have to make some decisions. I'll agree, you'll have a situation at quarterback that isn't as reliable as, let's say, having a quarterback like, for example, an Eli Manning, who you knew for years was going to start all 16 games. right? But a healthy Jimmy Garoppolo with this defense in this division, I believe you're looking at double-digit wins on a team that the casino is giving you 22-1 odds. It's ridiculous. My advice here, and there'll be other teams that I suggest as a futures play, right? But my advice here is that you include the San Francisco 49ers in your futures betting portfolio. Folks, they're 3-0. You can't do better than that mathematically. They're 3-0, and the casino is still giving you 22-1 odds. No quarterback in this pass-happy league this year in 3 games has gotten to 300 passing yards against them. Right? Let me just say, too, before the season, and I'll agree some things have broken their way, but before the season, you looked on their roster and you thought, wow, the Pittsburgh Steelers, that's going to be a tough game. Folks, Pittsburgh's now in the rearview window. Right? I'll agree, Ben got hurt. Pittsburgh's not the same without him. Right? I'd much rather face Mason Rudolph than Ben Roethlisberger. No question about it. But the bottom line is they're already past Pittsburgh. They're at 3-0, and they're looking at Cleveland in their next game. A team that might, quite frankly, be in a tailspin. And, of course, they get to play Cleveland in San Francisco. Let me go one step further. Garoppolo's very quick in getting rid of the football. Folks, I know the world right now is focused on certain teams, one of them being the Rams, in addition to the Cowboys, for example, right? If the 49ers beat the Rams, which is a distinct possibility, then the world is going to start realizing what's happening in San Francisco this season. Think about it. In my opinion, if the Niners beat the Rams, they'll be 5-0. And you'll be sitting there knowing that you got 22-1 odds on this team. My suggested play here is to add the San Francisco 49ers to your NFL futures portfolio. Right? Just understand how it works. You get to the postseason, let's say the Rams end up playing the 49ers in the playoffs. And you're thinking to yourself, gee, do I want to spend all this money on the Rams, knowing that they might be upset? And then you realize, you know what, I got nothing to worry about. Because my 49er part of the play is already taken care of at 22-1 odds. So whoever wins this playoff game, let's say it's in the second round of the playoffs, one of these teams gets a bye in the first round. Whoever wins this playoff game, I'm guaranteed having a presence in the next round of the playoffs. Right? Because it's easy to be on both sides of the bet when you only have to worry about one side, because you got 22-1 odds on the other side the first month of the season. Keep an eye on the 49ers, folks. They are dangerous. 22-1 casino, I'll take that. No need to put a bow on the package. That's how I see it. Let me hear from you. I hope you leave your comments in the comment section of this video. Let me also say this too. It's clear to me that the Detroit Lions are undervalued. Right? No doubt about it. They have some wide receivers. Stafford's always been talented. They have running backs, not just carry-on, but as backup. The problem with the Lions is I'm looking around the division and I'm thinking, oh man, Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay, that Chicago defense, Minnesota on both sides of the ball, right? You understand that you're going to have a lot of tough games going forward. So even an undervalued team might have problems. Now contrast that situation with the San Francisco 49ers. Right, folks, they're already 3-0. Looking at 2 games against Arizona. In my opinion, that gets them to 5, right? Split with Seattle. I think they're competitive against the Rams. We'll find out in a couple of weeks, right? In other words, you have a winnable division. A team right now that's 3-0, better record than the Lions, right? More opportunities. Take the AFC North, right? The Steelers are going to roar back. I'm just telling you, right? Let's say you like the Baltimore Ravens. They're off to a fast start. Ingram doing a great job as a running back. Lamar Jackson, whether he's passing the football for big-time yards or being agile out of the pocket, looks exemplary, right? The problem, again, is the division, isn't it? Right? Cleveland, for all of their problems, very talented football team. Right? Very talented football team. You see the talent on the roster. Then, of course, you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers and you're saying, wow, this, I'm just telling you, Baltimore faces more challenges coming out of their division than the San Francisco 49ers do coming out of theirs. Right? Some teams are going to be dealing with tough divisions. Philadelphia Eagles. Look at the NFC East. Right? Eagles have stumbled out of the gate. They play Green Bay tomorrow. That's a tough game. You got the Dallas Cowboys in the East. Right? Who knows exactly what's going to happen with that Daniel Jones-led Giant offense right now? Because Lord knows, they got ballers all over the place. Saquon's out. You still got Evan Ingram. You still got Sterling Shepard. Right? Look at Giant offensive numbers. Folks, they're daunting. Right? Now, all I'm saying is, I'm not sure if you have that in the NFC West. A team's out the gate at 3-0 with a schedule that looks like they're going to get to 8 or 9 wins before the rest of the league figures out how to hang a second loss on them. And you're getting them at 22-1. And of course, their head coach is one of the most imaginative offensive minds in the league. Just look at the number of teams that Kyle Shanahan has been offensive coordinator on and look at what they did. That's how I see it. Let me hear from you. I look forward to your comments in the comment section of this video. Thanks for stopping by.